Welcome to this informational session where the Executive and Board Development Departments of the Council for Military Spouse Clubs will talk about why we think military spouse clubs are still an important part of the military lifestyle. My name is Bobby Collins, and I'm the Council's Chief Executive Officer. Joining me today will be a few members of our board: Carolyn Chrisman, our Chief Board Development Officer, Betsy Gillen, the Director for Board Training, and Liz McKendrick, the Director of New Initiatives. We are all on this board because we feel very passionately about helping military spouse clubs thrive in their communities. Let's chat a little bit about what we'll be discussing today. First, we'll talk a little bit about the council itself, have a discussion on the value of military spouse clubs, and then talk about what the council can do for your club, and finish with some information about how your club can become part of the council.
Hi, I'm Liz McKendrick. The mission of the Council for Military Spouse Clubs is as follows: to educate, train, and provide resources to American military spouse clubs and their charitable nonprofits operating on military installations worldwide in order to preserve, perpetuate, and improve their governance and operations as nonprofit organizations. As we go through this presentation, we'll share how we'll work to meet our mission's goals. The Council for Military Spouse Clubs is a 501c3 tax-exempt charitable organization incorporated in the state of Colorado. The CMSC brings together nonprofit professionals in the military spouse community to support modern military spouse clubs. Subject matter expert military spouses helping military spouse club leaders help military spouses. It translates to this: we are all part of this organization because we have extensive experience with military spouse clubs or have a deep knowledge about an area that can help spouse clubs function more effectively.
In order to meet the needs that an average military spouse club might face, the Council has broken down our board into 10 specialized departments, headed by board members with expertise in these areas. They are as follows. First, we have the Executive Department. This is geared towards club presidents. They would tackle questions clubs might have like, how do I run an effective board meeting? How do I plan for the future and set realistic goals? How do I develop relationships within the board and the membership, etc.? Next, we have Board Development. This department is geared towards club advisors and honorees, but not exclusive to them. Questions like, does your advisor need to learn how to be an asset to your board? Do you need to help with your onboarding process? How do you let your board know what is expected of them? Do you need help forging a relationship with your military community leadership? Next, we have the Finance Department. Do you need a little help setting up your budget? Do you need a template for your treasurer's report? Do you need to understand QuickBooks? This department is your treasurer's place to get advice in all areas involving money. Next, we have the Legal Department. This department is your first stop to find a template for your Constitution and bylaws, to help understand how to run a meeting using Robert's Rules of Order, how to write agendas, how to write and follow your minutes, maybe help with your board report or setting up a system for voting. This committee spans 2 board positions, parliamentarians and secretaries. The 5th department is called Diversity and Belonging. In order to serve the community your club is a part of, clubs need to be inclusive of that community. How does a club accomplish this? How do you reach underserved populations? How do you build a board that represents all areas of the population, etc.? This is for all board members, but in particular, we hope your nominated committee will participate within this department. Next, we have the Operations Department, and it spans multiple areas. It covers thrift shops and any type of commercial enterprise you may have, like a gift shop or a consignment craft shop, etc. The Operations Department also covers all your events, so anyone who plans and executes events for your club will find this department beneficial. And finally, Operations also includes charitable giving. If your club gives away money in the form of scholarships and grants, there will be great information shared within this department about the best practices for these groups. Next, we have the Relationship Development Department. It covers all fundraising your clubs might do. Sponsorships, maybe if you write a grant for a specific program, or just trying to gather great thoughts on running your next annual fundraiser, will all be covered within this department. This is where you will get support for all your money-making activities. The 8th department is called Information Technology, and it will assist with all things technology and website related. This committee supports webmasters, but may also help in any area you need some kind of technology to assist in your day-to-day operations. The ninth department is called the Community Department, and this is your first stop for joining the council, but it's also where you will go if you have questions about your membership. Who should be able to join? What does a membership application look like? Do we need to include specific questions on our application? What tips and tricks can we use to best track our membership, etc.? And finally, we have the Marketing Department. Marketing kind of describes itself, but if you have a publicity person on your board, this will be a great department for them to gain all sorts of insights into best ways to reach your members, reach your potential members, your sponsors, and your community. Now that you understand how the council is organized, let's move on to why we are here today.
Hi, I'm Betsy Gilland. Before we get too deep into what the council does, it's important to understand what's the value of a military spouse club. Well, the value of a military spouse club can be found through its purpose. And typically, clubs serve two larger purposes. They allow members to form social connections and afford them the opportunity to serve and support our communities. In clubs that are thriving, those two purposes have a symbiotic relationship with one another.
When forming the council, we first needed to decide that serving a military spouse club population was a worthwhile endeavor. We knew there was a need to help military spouse clubs with resources to better serve their populations, but was it really worth the effort? Yes, and let's touch on just a few of these reasons we feel passionately about helping military spouse clubs and how that's a necessary part of the military journey. Military spouse clubs can help with individuals with a number of different areas. First, they can help with networking. And what exactly do we mean by that? At club events, individuals can meet people from the community that they may not meet in their regular day-to-day lives. This can lead to resource sharing like new childcare options, sharing of job openings, or even just a new program that the installation gym is offering. Military spouse clubs can also help you make new friends. We tend to stay within a certain group of people every time we move, in our neighborhood, within our unit, etc. But at a club event, you're bound to meet people from all over the base, and that will help you make your circle of friends grow, and who knows, you may even run into some of those friends at a different location. Military spouse clubs oftentimes have a charitable purpose. The club gives their members a safe place to donate their time and talent and efforts to a cause that they know is legitimate while volunteering with their friends. And finally, military spouse clubs can also serve a professional development purpose. When individuals donate their time to serve on a military spouse club board, they will work with a group of people towards a common goal. That alone is great for your resume, but when you can add in the specific description of what you did as a volunteer, it can enhance your resume for the future.
We talked about why spouse clubs are important for the individual, but now let's touch on why they are beneficial to your community. They can help connect the community outside the installation with the military community in many ways. Here are just a few. When a spouses club holds a major event, they invite people from the community to attend. When they enjoy themselves alongside the military connected individuals, they form a stronger bond of friendship that forms a basis for when you need to work together during those tough times. Spouse club fundraisers and events provide a place for local businesses to show off their products and services to a population they might not otherwise be able to reach. Clubs sometimes hold monthly service projects where items are donated by their members and then donated back to the local community. Places such as the local women's shelter, a food bank, or even just animal shelters can benefit. And finally, when these clubs raise money with the help of the local community through their donations and support, it offers both groups the opportunity to give through charitable giving or community grants.
So we all agree that spouse clubs are an important part of the military lifestyle. What happens when they need help and advice? Where can they go? How many times have you thought it would be great to have some governing body to ask questions? We are all part of the Council for Military Spouse Clubs because we want to provide assistance in areas where clubs need a little extra help. Turnover, inexperience, bad advice, wrong information, changing regulations, and economic unrest all contribute to the state of your military spouse club. We want to help mitigate those issues at a higher level so you don't have to figure things out on your own. We aim to provide the assistance you've needed all along. Collectively, we see an opportunity for the council to facilitate gathering resources and providing solutions to problems individual clubs might not be able to solve or afford. By leveraging economies of scale, we aim to find solutions to issues such as insurance, job boards, information on annual awards, regulations and legal questions, providing checklists and templates for boards to follow, and endorsing and hopefully providing discounts for software like QuickBooks, Canva, and GlueUp.
Next, we want to talk about how your club can remain relevant. Military spouse clubs can remain in a number of different ways by thinking strategically. First, they can be responsive to societal changes like COVID and Facebook that change the way all of us operate. They can also attract new spouses, and for this, we know that diversity is key. We support integrated all ranks clubs, which include membership for male spouses, reservist spouses, retired spouses, and Gold Star spouses who may be underserved in other community organizations. Military spouse clubs can also think strategically by responding to installation requirements across different installations and military branches. So when we think about military spouse clubs, it helps for us to ask how we could do things better versus simply stating, this is the way we've always done it.
Okay, so let's talk about how your club can be involved with the council. First, have your club become a member. We're offering free membership until May 2022 while the council builds its library and resources. You can find the application on our website as well as additional details if you'd like to become a founding member. So please complete your application, and once it's been approved, we would next ask that you fill out a survey noting the issues and challenges that your club may be facing. This will provide direction for the council to be most effective to help meet your club's needs. Also, don't forget to plan ahead to rejoin for the next board year to maintain council membership and access to resources.
There are other ways to get involved with the council. In the near future, the council departments will have their first set of committee meetings. These will be less formal discussion forums where you can share your issues. The purpose is to bring together representatives from military spouse clubs globally to discuss and tackle current issues within their organization with the guidance of subject matter expert spouses. We'll have regular quarterly committee meetings as well, and the council will take away issues, conduct deep dives using subject matter experts, and provide real-world suggestions and solutions. These meetings will provide an open forum for military spouse clubs to give input for future meetings and development for tailored resources. You can also search for issues in our growing council library, which will provide helpful resources and guidance on relevant issues in spouse club organizations.
Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. The Council for Military Spouse Clubs looks forward to serving the military spouse community by educating, training, and providing resources for your local military spouse club. If you have more questions, please email us at contact@councilformsc.org or visit us on the web at www.councilformsc.org. Thanks so much for attending today, and we look forward to seeing you soon.